Hello and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, industries refute claims of lack of capacity to meet local demand, insisting they can compete effectively within a conducive environment.
Challenges. You remember why the cedi was depreciating so much? It's all because we import so much more than we export. So when it happens like that, there's always pressure on your cedi. And in this short-term period, especially during this period that the IMF is here, the intervention here is that can we reduce the excesses?
As we celebrate our hard-working farmers today, we caught up with the 1996 first farmer, George Aloko Dongo.
Understand? Yes, please. Like after years like this, you have two key farmers. Every farmer knows that if you are sending my maize to Mbila farms in Zebila, he will buy the maize off me. They will do it.
Also, Chamber of Independent Power Producers cautioned government against restructuring of energy debts of about $2.3 billion, saying it is practically impossible.
That restructuring or haircut proposal won't work or has not worked. We are patiently waiting for government to pay us our money. How it will happen, I don't know. All we are looking for is our money.
These and many more coming your way in the next 30 minutes with me, Emma Davis. Welcome. Let's settle for the details. Industries have maintained that they have the capacity to produce to meet local demand, but within a conducive environment. It follows concern that the country will be hit with food shortage and an increase in inflation if government goes ahead with planned import restrictions. But speaking on PM Express Business Edition, Chief Executive Officer of AGI, Seth Chumakwaboa, he says some of their members are overproducing but struggling to get markets locally.
You must be very competitive, and indeed, in fact, what we are experiencing is rather unfair competition. And I'll give you the example of the cables, where the companies now their volumes have dropped significantly because there's so much of it being imported. And we don't really believe that they are coming through the approved routes, they are paying the right duties and taxes, and the quality standards, they are meeting it. So that when that happens, it becomes unfair competition. The textile industry is even worse. That's the reason why we even fought for the zero VAT, because they were bringing the very product that our people have produced here. Within weeks, they go to other place, go and print the same kind of products, enter the market, smuggle them in, don't pay the right duties, don't pay the right taxes, they enter the market. And therefore sold at a very cheap price. Then you can't even meet the competition. So, and then bear in mind that we also have some challenges with our business environment, and we've talked extensively about it. So that is not about competition, which is dependent on the management of the company. The company owners or the businesses are efficient in their management. Of course, there are also those that are inefficient. Of course, they can't find their own space within the market. But there are a lot of them that are doing very well and are very competitive if conditions are equal. So they rather face unfair competition. And it's a very serious situation. If you take the beverages, for example, I don't know, I don't have the permission of the company.
Don't mention names. I mean,
but there's one company that we know, and it's a very popular brand. Everybody talks about it. But I can tell you, it's very popular. The local production plant only produces 30% of that. The rest, you see in the market, but they are imported. Okay? And there's another one in the milk industry. It's happening all over. There's so much excess importation of some of these products in a way that is very unfair to the local producers. And it's the reason why I believe government is trying to do some of that. And then the other thing is that immediately we are also going through serious foreign exchange challenges. You remember why the cedi was depreciating so much? It's all because we import so much more than we export. So when it happens like that, there's always pressure on your cedi. And in this short-term period, especially during this period that the IMF is here, the intervention here is that can we reduce the excesses? Because, for example, if you import sugar, we don't produce sugar, but it finds itself in this. The reason is simple. we are probably importing, and that's the statistics, we are importing much more than the local demand.
As we celebrate Farmers' Day today across the country, many stakeholders yearn for some more investments into the sector to ensure that the country is food secure. My colleague Ebenezer Awuttey engaged the 1996 National Best Farmer, George Aloko Adongo, who is making a case for government to consider borehole facilities as part of incentive for farmers to reduce the cost of farming. Here are excerpts of their conversation from Kwalugu in the Upper East region.
If you go down, we've started. Some have started doing only.
Okay.
But what I do is there's a man-made lake here. So I have 2 big water pumps.
Okay.
That can supply the whole
area.
The whole 70 acres. The whole area is 100. But we're utilizing 70 at the moment.
So you don't have issue with irrigation?
No. The only problem is that the high cost of fuel.
What do you use the fuel for?
For irrigating, we put inside the pumping machines. I'll open and go with you and you see.
Okay. So and especially with the mangoes, where they have gotten to, do you still have to pump to water them?
Yes. Normally, at this their age, because of the weather here, you have to water at least twice in a month.
In a month?
In a month, you give them water twice because of the harsh weather condition. But we're down south at this age, when it's about 5 years, you don't water them again.
Okay.
All what you do is you keep on spraying and applying fertilizer.
Okay.
Yeah, the fertilizer application on the mango is not like this thing. The mango tree, you dig a hole around it. You see, then put the fertilizer and cover it. Okay. And when the water comes, you see that it will shift.
Okay. I see. So how has it been, especially with the mango? Is it difficult?
The beginning was difficult, but up here, people haven't tried mango. I decided to try it. And it's doing well.
10 years or more than 10 years ago, you were declared the best farmer nationally. I mean, the former president, Jerry Rawlings, gave you all the necessary equipment, the cash prizes, stuff like that. How was it like? I mean, what went into that? What were some of the farming, products that you were harvesting or you were cultivating before getting this?
I had a 300 acre rice field at the condition. Then here, the whole area is 100 acres. And I cultivated 50 acres of maize. Then I did a sorghum, 30 acres. Then I had cowpea and cowpea and soybean, 20 acres. I have a cattle ranch too, numbering 250 cattle.
Wow.
Not the local type.
Okay.
The Burkina type. So I harvested a lot of maize and rice that I used to supply to seed company. Most of my products were seed. I specialize in seed production. So if I produce maize, is satisfied seed, rice, satisfied seed, so that I send them to seed company. They clean, we bag them in kilos, so 1 kilo, 5 kilo, 2 kilos, for sale to input dealers. I had input dealers who will come and take it, lift it from me.
I can say by then you were a young man, so...
Oh yes, very young. There. I won that. I was then about 45 years old. 44, 45 years.
Okay. So
1996. Okay. Actually, I was an accountant, working with accountant general. I resigned in 1984 and went into farming.
Wow.
And since then, I haven't regretted.
So you're a chartered accountant?
Yes. I resigned at accountant general as a principal accounting officer, 1984. I resigned and went into farming.
So does it mean the farming is paying more than being an accountant at the accountant general at the time?
Exactly.
Can that same story be said?
Currently now, no, because inputs have gone up very high. Secondly, too, the soils here are depleting day in, day out.
The polygon source?
Yes. Not only the whole upper east region, upper west, part of northern. See that the soil, because we have been utilizing the land for long. Now when you go in, either you apply more fertilizer, which is very costly, and the ordinary farmer cannot afford. First, you used to do 1 acre, 1 bag of fertilizer. You can do it per acre. Now, you put 1 bag of fertilizer in an acre of maize, you see it growing yellow. So you need to increase it to about 2 or 3 bags per acre before you can get at least yields that are encouraging.
Does it mean the capacity of the fertilizer that used to do, let's say 1 acre, the capacity has reduced, or the quantity? Is it the quantity that has reduced, or the quality?
It is not the quantity, not the quality. It is the price.
The cost?
The cost.
Okay, the costs have gone up.
Have gone up. And the soils too have depleted. You know, if you have land that you keep on cultivating it year in, year out, definitely the input, the agrochemicals, the what you put into that same soil to be able to harvest your maximum use, you need to increase. Okay. That brings a high cost of.
So does it mean now it costs more to do farming than previously?
Yes.
20 years ago when you received the best farming?
More. Now, 20 years ago, I think I was paying by those days was 2 cedis, 50 pesos. Now, doing by you have to pay 50 cedis. If you are lucky, 40 cedis.
Away from agriculture, the Chamber of Independent Power Producers is cautioning the government against restructuring of energy debts owed them. According to the Chamber, it is practically impossible for government to restructure energy debts amounting to about $2.3 billion. This is because the IPPs are highly indebted to their suppliers and banks. Elikplim Apetogbo is the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of IPPs, now called the Independent Power Generators Ghana.
That we want to structure is a debt that we have also owed to our lenders, suppliers. If you give us a haircut, all our standing debts, and you say you are taking you want to give us a haircut of 30% or 40% out of it, who is going to pay our debt for us? These are actual costs that we have incurred. The debt in question is not our savings, it's not our profits. So it's practically impossible to restructure it. We have presented an option to government that we are open to a fair payment plan that can enable us, or that can make us comfortable to talk to our lenders, our financiers. So to answer your question, one, that restructuring or haircut proposal won't work or has not worked. We are patiently waiting for government to pay us our money. How it will happen, I don't know. All we are looking for is our money. We've received some indications of some payments to be made, but we have been waiting for long. For over 3 months, discussion going on, we've not made any headway. And I think we are sitting on life support. Anything could happen. We can't guarantee generation, always. We have been very diplomatic to ensure we dialogue, have a mutual settlement, but I'm sorry, we are not getting.
The Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management is making a strong case for a more conducive environment for employees to explore opportunities. The institute is of the view that Even though the current economic challenges are affecting the working populations, workers must be professional in their line of duty. President of the Institute, Dr. Edward Kwapong, was speaking at the 15th graduation ceremony of the Institute.
The Institute in 2023 had a total of 1,125 students across the country write the exams. Meanwhile, 316 students graduated after the professional certification exams. Dr. Kwapong entreated the HR practitioners to be more strategic.
May I urge you, the graduates, to go out there to practice as professionals rather than academics. Industry, while admiring excellent grammar, is more interested in the practical solution. Be proficient, all right, but more professional in your practice and conduct. We expect that you will hold this certificate with pride and dignity and be a good ambassador and standard bearer of this institute wherever you find yourself.
Minister for Education Yao Osei Educhum called on the HR practitioners to be more innovative.
We are caught up in this African mediocrity syndrome where we say we are better than this country, we are better than that country, and then we relax. We are not challenging ourselves. Every day at the Ministry of Education, we are challenging ourselves and say, why can't we create a Singaporean education model? Why should our public schools not outperform all other schools in the country? Why is it that in our curriculum in this country, history has been taken out? Now it's coming back, and I'm so excited that history is coming back to Ghana. The young ones who took courses in science don't know how Ghana became independent. So if you talk about Ghanaian youth are not patriotic, how can you be patriotic about a country that you don't know? You don't know the sacrifices that some people made for our nation to become independent. So you take things for granted. For unknown reasons, we changed something in this country.
The 15th graduation ceremony was under the theme, Making Tertiary and Professional Education Count in the World of Work.
You're still watching Business Live with me, Emma Davis. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Tax consultant Fred Kwashi Awuttey says African countries would have to sign tax treaties to boost intra-trade activities. He argues that the move will prevent multinational companies from evading taxes, whereas supporting investors. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of a book dubbed Modern Approach to International Taxation.
The inspiration is based on me solving problems. I noticed that international taxation has not been well dealt in Africa, and particularly in Ghana. So I think when I noticed that this area is like an untouchable area, and then I wanted to look into this area and see how best we can do, and then bring material that can be accessible to the general public and to Ghana Revenue Authority as well. If you look at this particular area, you could see that it's an area that multinational companies normally exploit the developing countries and then shift revenue from one country, from the developing country, which is a higher tax rate country, to the tax havens. So I have looked at it and said, no, we need to have some material, because there's no material actually in this area of taxation. The materials you will see are very scanty, and those scanty are not even put together. And I realized that no, there should be some material, literature that might be on this book, so that we can know how we can tax this income. If you look at our taxing code, like the Income Tax Act, little has been said about that, and the code is in a way that when you read may not even understand, but somebody have to break it down for the ordinary person's understanding. If you look at the taxation of business income across the world, the general rule is that the income or business income must be taxed when the person have a fiscal presence in the country. So if you look at the current trend now, because of digitization, you see that most businesses are online. So this is contrary to our law, which says that there should be fiscal presence in the country, given the way the law or the tax law is framed. The tax law is establishment, then it means that the income cannot be taxed. So on the basis of that, if the person does business online, how do you tax it? Because you don't have that in our tax law. So on the basis, we now need to have certain law, so the law must be amended and crafted in a manner that we have to tax the digital taxation or the digital transactions. This can be done through digital service tax, which is a strict levy which can be imposed on transactions which take place online.
The Accra Brewery Limited, in collaboration with the National Road Safety Authority, has embarked on a move to sensitize drivers on the need to minimize alcohol intake while driving. According to Accra Brewery Limited, this is key to reduce road carnages going into the festive season. Head of Legal and Corporate Affairs, Solomon Aya, said this is part of the company's corporate social responsibility to give back to communities it operates.
The company said it will continue to engage the drivers to ensure safety on our route. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Iya said his outfit is committed to invest more into corporate social responsibility.
As you know, ABL is a market leader in production of alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Our flagship product, which is Club, is the #1 in this country. And as an alcohol manufacturing company, we have a responsibility to our communities in which we live and work. Our responsibility is to ensure, especially during this festive season, we educate drivers on responsible drinking. Basically, as I said, we've teamed up with the Road Safety Authority to take them through the tenets of responsible drinking and driving. And it is critical to us around this time because we are getting into our festive season and we know that our roads will be very busy.
On this part, Assistant Director of Planning at the National Road Safety Authority, Ezra Kwanzaa, pledged their support to the campaign.
So the success is measured by the statistics that is churned out at the end of the year. So as I stand here now, I can't give you the statistics off head, but I can tell you for sure that when we compare last year's stats to this year's stats, there's been a decrease in the crashes, and it's very, very significant that we mention it. And I'm not saying that what we are recording now is something to boast about, but we can still improve it.
Now, Omitel Global Limited has opened the first ever Motorola shop in Ghana to provide customers with some new phones made by the brand. According to the managing director, Andrew Nanakufor, his outfit aims to produce customers with quality phones that come with great new features.
The new Motorola shop was opened to bring back Motorola phones to the Ghanaian market. The prices of phones from the Motorola shop range from 1,000 Ghana cedis and beyond. Managing Director of Omitel Ghana Limited, Andrew Nanakufor, said the Motorola phones are of great quality than other phones in the market.
They have been in this business for a long time. They produce some of the best smartphones you can find, but it's been non-existent in Ghana for a while, but Motorola is back in Ghana and we are here for good. So this shop was opened and then a number of them will be open as time goes by to serve customers. Motorola has a very good battery life span. When you charge the smartphones that we have introduced, when you charge once, you can use it for 2 days. Very good batteries. And the other thing is that it's a quality phone. The return rate for Motorola is less than 1%, and it's so the quality is good. And the cameras, wow, it gives you perfect capture for every moment. It gives you the best quality pictures you can find. It's as you can see, this is one of them, and this like that you can, before you take the picture, you see yourself in it, and the quality of the pictures is outstanding.
He called on customers to embrace the brand in order to have value for their money.
Still in the tech space, the University of Ghana Business School is calling for more investments within the ICT space in a quest to aid students improve on their skills. According to Dean of the school, Professor Justice Bawale, there should be a coordination between IT and education to help in bridging the industry-academia gap. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the UGBS Laptop Library Initiative.
Well, as a school, we have the needs of our students as a paramount concern. We know that there is a huge digital divide, which is in most cases also an economic divide, depending on whether or not a particular student comes from a privileged home or not. They have no access to a computer. In today's world, digital skills and more importantly, that a lot of our activities as a school has moved online, also following the COVID challenge. But we realize that a significant number of our students do not have laptops. In an attempt to solve the problem, we have established 2 computer labs. Unfortunately, these labs are not enough to take care of all of our students, and 2, they are mobile. So when school is off session or closes, students cannot have access to these digital infrastructure that they so much need for their activities. So we have come up with the concept of the laptop library. Currently, we have stocked the library with 100 laptops. What this does is that it operates like a normal library. So the students will go to the laptop library, register themselves, provide information, and borrow a laptop, which they can use from within a day to about 2 weeks, and then they will return it. The laptops would be used based on need basis. So if somebody has it for 1 week and for any reason somebody else needs it, we will recall it and give it to another person.
On that geeky note, we end Business Live with me, Emma Davis. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. And some of our top stories there for you. We have capacity to meet local demand and compete favorably, AGI. We cannot guarantee power generation always. Independent power generators. Do have a lovely day and enjoy your holiday.